Look, it looks like all the wickets have fallen in the first sessions of most mornings, and I am really proud of the way the guys have fought back in this particular test match. The youngish team, and they've shown really good character. Cricket's a strange game. Obviously, Pakistan are in control at the moment, leading another 95 runs, and it's going to have to take something really special. But that's test match cricket. Anything's possible. We've got to come here tomorrow morning believing that we've still got a chance. If we can pick up 2 or 3 early in the first half an hour of the morning, anything's still possible. So whilst Pakistan are well ahead of the game at the moment, we've got to make sure we come here with really good attitude and skill tomorrow morning, and believe that we can still do something really special tomorrow. But I think if we look at Litton's test record over the last 18 months or so, I think he's averaging probably close to 60. He's played some really good innings for us in the middle order, and I think we found a good spot at 6 or 7 for him, which allows him to bat a little bit with the lower order and get a little bit of confidence going. So, look, we always know that he's a fantastic player. It's taken him a while to find his way in Test match cricket, but over the last year and a half, I think he's been really good for us and a big positive for us in Test match cricket. And hopefully, he's learned a lot in this last period of time, getting some big scores. And hopefully he can, in time to come, slowly move himself up the order into where we think he could possibly end up batting. Still learning, still improving, and finding his way. But maybe in another year's time, he could be the next number 4 or number 5 or whatever it's going to be for Bangladesh. Disappointing. And Shadman's just come off 100 in his last test match, be it about 6 months ago. But we are finding ourselves under pressure against the new ball. We against the quality bowling attack. Shadman and Saif are still, I mean, Saif's playing, I think, his 5th or 6th test match, so still very, very inexperienced. Shadman, I think, possibly played 10, and they're up against 2 high-quality bowlers, so it's been tough for them. Obviously we weren't happy with the way they got out. Considering the nature of the wicket we're playing in, so that was a bit disappointing. So there's a lot of work for them to do in Test match cricket, there's no doubt about it. I don't know, I'm not too sure. I think he's done a fitness test today, and we will wait for the feedback from the trainers and the physios later on today or tomorrow morning. Yeah, look, I'm never going to criticize players in media, but I thought we were starting to get some momentum. We were 196 ahead at that stage, 6 wickets. And we thought if that partnership would just go for another 40 or 50 runs, we'd have Pakistan under pressure, because then they'd have to bat maybe for an hour before close of play. And look, I'm sure if you ask Shawan what you do with that ball, I'm sure he would not play that same shot. Obviously, he's let himself down with that dismissal, because at that stage of the game, we're just starting to get what I thought was the head of the game. 196 ahead, 2 batters in, we were getting into a good position, and he knows he's let himself down and he's let the team down with that dismissal. There's no doubt about that. No, absolutely. I'm not just frustrated with this particular test match, but if you think of our last couple of test matches, 2 against the West Indies that we probably should have won, got ourselves into great positions and just weren't able to seal the deal. So I'm sure the players are as well. We're all very frustrated, because we definitely seem to be making improvement in this format, but then just making silly mistakes at crucial stages, whether it's putting down a catch or playing a loose shot or bowling a bad spell. We just can't seem to sustain our performance for a longer period of time. That is very frustrating at the moment. The competition or the intensity isn't quite there for long periods of time in domestic cricket, I'm not sure. But there's definitely a shortage of sustained pressure absorption and sustained applying of pressure in this format. Look, I mean, Saif has shown some glimpses of what he's capable of. I mean, even in the second innings before he got out, he was starting to find a little bit of confidence and a little bit of form. But like I say, guys, I don't know if Saif has faced that sort of intensity, that sort of pressure before. I know young Yasir Rabi, who played really well, came to me after the day's play yesterday and said, wow, he's never been involved in that sort of intense battle before on a cricket field. So it's a new experience for a lot of these young players against quality sides like this, when the expectation is so high, and some of the shortcomings are definitely being exposed at this level at the moment, and there's definitely lots of work to be done in that particular department for us. I think this has been a really good wicket, and it's been a really good test match. Like I say, I think we've played really good test match cricket for periods of time where we've been on top in the game. So, and I keep saying to my coaches, it's a very difficult situation Bangladesh is in, because when we play on good wickets, we might not have the firepower to bowl sides out like Pakistan might have. When we play on wickets that spin, we've definitely got the firepower to bowl sides out, but then our batsmen can be challenged as well. And if you want to try and develop confidence in our batting lineup, get our batting numbers up, our statistics up for players, their confidence levels, it's a very tough situation, because historically on good wickets, Bangladesh seem to struggle. Historically on spinning wickets, our batters seem to struggle. So it's a tough situation to teach. I think this has been a very good wicket. We have let ourselves down in the second innings by being bowled out for 150. If we could get somewhere about 250, 280, we would have been in a great position. So in my opinion, this has been a really good pitch. And hopefully the boys have learned a lot from this test match thus far.
Hi, Russell. What is going on in Bangladesh cricket? T20 team is fully reshuffled and test team is struggling. I don't know what will they do in one-day format. And what is your observation, basically?
So, Sikandar, I mean, I know I haven't spoken about the T20 World Cup much, but if you look at the 5 games we lost in the Super League, West Indies and Sri Lanka, we were probably in good positions to win those games. Then we ended up losing to England, Australia and South Africa, who were 3 fantastic sides. And we ended up in those games, in 2 of those games, playing without, I suppose, 3 of our first choice players, without Shakib, without Saifuri, and someone else was missing as well. There was a 3rd player missing in terms of injury. I'm trying to think who it was.
Saifuddin.
Saifuri. And in the day, if you take 3 players out of the Australian team, if you take 3 players out of the South African team, if you take the Cock, Rabada and Shamsi out, they too will probably feel a little bit thinner and a little bit more vulnerable. So whilst we know we didn't play well and we appreciate the frustration with that performance, you've also got to put it into context that we lost to 3 really good sides. We could have probably won 2 games against Sri Lanka and the West Indies. We probably should have won those games. We actually played decently. We should have won those 2. And then we lost 3 games against 3 powerhouse sides, missing 3 of our big players. It's no excuse, we know that. But it might not be all doom and gloom. I was extremely satisfied with the way the boys played in this T20 series against Pakistan. A young side coming with a lot of pressure. Once again, we possibly could have won 1 or 2 of those games against Pakistan. So I was very proud of the way the boys played in this last T20 series. But we've got to realize that we are behind other teams in that particular format, and we need to make sure you've got enough depth to cover up when players like that are missing. To replace Shakib, as you can see here, we are either one bowler light or we one batter light, and it's the same in white ball cricket, and we need to try and find players who can fulfill that role when those players are not available. There's no doubt about it. Now, look, I've really enjoyed it. There's obviously some massive challenges. There's no doubt about it. I've been involved with South Africa for a long time, and South Africa have been a team that has won a lot of test matches in particular. It can be very frustrating at times in the test match format in particular, where we just seem to not know how to win. The test culture definitely needs to improve. There doesn't seem to be, and it's something we talk about all the time, about making sure. I always believe if your test team is good, your white ball teams will be good. And maybe the current environment in Bangladesh, maybe white ball cricket is seen to be more important than test match cricket. So It's something that we need to continuously address. I firmly believe if your test match side is good, you will have good enough players to play all formats of white ball cricket. There's some exciting young players coming through, but we've got to be realistic that some of these young boys are still a long way off from where they need to be as international batsmen, as international bowlers. And the more hard cricket they play, whether it's domestically or whether it's on 18 tours, the better it'll be for the national side. There's no doubt about it, because the step up from domestic cricket to international cricket at the moment is a massive step up. And that gap needs to be bridged, and that's something that the Bangladesh Cricket Board needs to look at closely to make sure players coming into the national side can come in and impact the game and not take a long time to find their feet to international cricket, because there's a big step up.